Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Rowena Faradita. I'm from Islamic Education Programs. Okay, in this video, I will explain about the history of fiqh growth, time of the Prophet Muhammad SAW, the companions of the Prophet, tabi'in, and Imam Madhab. Okay, next kita masuk ke pembahasan. Yang pertama is the development of fiqh during the time of the Prophet Muhammad SAW. Number one is characteristic of fiqh during the Prophet's time. Okay, the main characteristic of fiqh at this time is the existence of legal certainty of the comes directly from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala through revelation and explanation of the Prophet Muhammad SAW. Number two is methodology of law determination. The first is revelation as a primary source, and the second is the Prophet's ijtihad, which received the legitimacy of revelation. In establishing the law, the Prophet Muhammad SAW always made revelation of the primary source. The Quran is the main reference in every legal decision making. Okay, the next is development of fiqh in the time of the companions, atau perkembangan fikih pada masa sahabat. Ada beberapa poin. Yang pertama, the first is characteristic of the companions period. After the death of the Prophet Muhammad SAW, the development of fiqh entered a new phase, which was marked by the emergence of various unprecedented problems. The companions, as a generation that lived with the Prophet and understood directly the spirit of Islamic law, took an important role in providing legal solution to these various problems. This period was marked by the birth of collective ijtihad or ijma and the emergence of difference of opinion or ikhtilaf among the companions. Number two is contribution of the main friend. Salah satu legasi terbesarnya adalah kodifikasi Al-Quran yang menjadi rujukan utama dalam penetapan hukum. Abu Bakar As-Siddiq juga menghadapi dan menyelesaikan masalah zakat dengan tegas ketika banyak kabilah Arab yang menolak membayar zakat sepeninggal Rasulullah SAW. And the second is Umar bin Khattab. Umar bin Khattab is known for his brilliant and contextual ijtihad. He made various innovations in government administration, such as the establishment of Baitul Mal, the establishment of the Hijri calendar, and the establishment of a systematic judicial institution. Okay, next is the development of fiqh in the Tabi'in period. The first is characteristic of the Tabi'in period, the development of fiqh madrasas, the emergence of ahlu ra'i and ahlu hadith. Era ini menandai fase baru dalam perkembangan fikih yang muncul pusat-pusat studi Islam di berbagai wilayah, di mana periode ini itu ditandai dengan berkembangnya madrasah-madrasah fikih yang memiliki karakteristik dan metodologi berbeda dalam memahami dan menerapkan hukum Islam. Number two is fikih development centers. Pusat-pusat perkembangan fikih, di mana ada dua. Yang pertama, Medina as the center of hadith and Kufa as the center of ra'yu. Next is the period of Imam Madhab. The first is Imam Abu Hanifah or Madhab Hanafi. Imam Abu Hanifah developed a very systematic and rational legal istinbat methodology. He is known as a pioneer in the widespread use of qiyas in the establishment of law. In his methodology, Abu Hanifah established a hierarchy of legal source. Is the Al-Quran, the Sunnah, the opinions of the companions, qiyas, istihsan, and uraf, or good habits of society. Okay, the next is Imam Malik bin Anas or Madhab Maliki. Imam Malik developed a unique methodology by making the practice of the istinbat of Medina one of the source of law. He argued that the practice that has taken root in Medina is a direct transmission of the practice of the Prophet Muhammad SAW, which is passed down from generation to generation. Okay, number three is Imam Syafi'i. Imam Syafi'i emerged as a figure who breaked the school of Ahlu Ra'i and Ahlu Hadith, the development of comprehensive and systematic Ahlul Usul Fiqh methodology, which later became the basis for the development of Islamic law in a more structured manner. In Imam Syafi'i's view, the source of Islamic law consists of the Quran, Sunnah, Ijma, and Qiyas. Okay, the last Imam is Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal or Madhab Hanbali emerged as a figure who became a defender of the Hadith tradition. He preferred Nas or the text of the Quran and Hadith and was very careful in using ra'yu or intellect in the determination of law. The estimate method of Ahmad bin Hanbal, law is very strict and textual. He only accepted truly authentic hadith and does not want to accept opinion or qiyas that are contrary to the Sahih hadith. The last is conclusion. The history of the growth of fiqh shows the evolution of Islamic legal thought that is very dynamic and responsive to the development of the time, starting from the time of the Prophet Muhammad SAW with the authority of revelation as the main source, developing in the time of the companions with the emergence of collective ijtihad, then entering the phase of methodological development in the Tabi'in period until reaching maturity in the period of Madhab Imams. Okay, maybe that's all from me. I want to say thank you very much for your attention and I apologize if I make a mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.